Good evening, everyone. This is Cameron Wagner. I am the Professional Programs Coordinator with SWE headquarters. Thank you to all of our lead volunteers for joining us for this town hall tonight. For those of you on the live webinar, you will be able to ask questions tonight by using the chat function of your GoToWebinar panel. So if you look on the right side of your screen, there's a little chat function that you can type your questions into, and we'll be answering questions as we go along tonight. Tonight's webinar is a town hall where everyone can ask questions, and it's kind of the purpose of the webinar is to have some time for our lead volunteers to ask questions about their roles and duties. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to Brandy Kapowski.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully everybody got a chance to check out the webinar. And we are here. I am here with our SWE17 local co-chair, Evelina, and Raj. She is not with us, but she is one of our local co-chairs that is going to be at the event. Evelina, if you want to go ahead, you can with the...
Yes. Thank you, Brandy. So everybody, thank you all for joining tonight. I would like to introduce you to our 4 volunteer co-chairs that many of y'all will be interacting with. We have Divya Narahari, Nadia Malik, Kim Eckert, and Rhonda Childress. They will be your point of contact when it comes to the volunteer room and any assignment you have with respect to volunteering at the SWE17 conference. So you will be interacting with those 4 ladies a lot.
Yes, perfect. I think we're going to start just getting started. You guys had some questions, so I'm going to start going over and trying to answer, or hopefully answering these questions that you guys had, that you had put in. So one question was, somebody was mentioning wanting cell numbers ahead of time in case anyone needs help. We will have cell numbers for the people, the main people that you will need, like my numbers, Evelina's cell number, the people that will get you the answers while you're on site. We have never really passed out everyone's cell numbers between lead volunteers. Maybe between a group we could do that if you needed to. Evelina, I'm not sure what you think about passing, you know, the numbers out. We have numbers so that we can make sure that everybody is on time, or if we're missing somebody, we can get in contact. But
I will go ahead and coordinate with our 4 volunteer co-chairs as well to see if they're interested in sharing their number. I'm okay sharing mine with our core volunteers. I don't really want to share it with the other 500 regular volunteers that we might have. But I think with respect to our core, I am in case any emergency comes up.
All right, absolutely. And that's honestly what we usually do. Everyone usually has access, all 600 volunteers usually have mine, but that's a whole different story. So I'm good with that, but we've never given out everyone else's cell numbers before. But like I said, mine's always out there. So if someone needs something, then they can get to me and we can get to the information that's needed. Will there be info laid out for rooms should attendees ask for a specific room or if it's located? Absolutely. We are going to have folders that we call we call them cheat sheets, but they're not just a sheet. It's a huge thick folder that is going to have all kinds of information. It's going to have layouts of the convention center. It's going to have a floor plan of the actual expo and a floor plan of the interview booth. It's going to have all kinds of the information that I need to do my job, but we will make sure that you have that information too, so you can just look it up and you can answer questions. Most people will have one in the volunteer room at all times, if not 3 or 4, so that people can be looking things up and answering. But that's also a part of the information that will be at every info desk. So if you're an info desk lead, that is going to be your book that will give you answers to hopefully 90% of what you're going to run into. All right. How are volunteers contacted about their assignment during? You sign up ahead of time. There is no during. We tell you what your assignment is. We just expect you to log in or come and actually sign into the volunteer room 30 minutes prior is what we like to ask. So 30 to 15 minutes. I think I padded a lot of the shifts, so 15 minutes I think will be doable now. And you guys are leads, so you know, a lot of you guys that are coming in the morning, you're coming in first thing in the morning, and we can't be there any earlier than what we are, basically at 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. So if you're doing the morning ones. And expectations for the volunteer coordinator, or this must be the daily, or for the volunteer co-chairs. I'm not quite sure which one it was, but I will go over both of them. The volunteer coordinator, or actually, I think this was about the daily operations. You're going to be handling anything that happens in our volunteer room. So you're going to come to the volunteer room, which is at the Austin Convention Center on level 3, room 10C. And you're going to be, I'm going to be there, and Evelina might be there, or any one of the co-chairs, Raj might be there. We're all going to be there making sure and starting to set up for the day. We need to organize the volunteer room. We get it running with making sure that the speaker gifts are set out, making sure that we have them all sessions all set out so that when the volunteers come in, we give them a session, we give them what they need to move on to get to their room monitor. They have to go monitor the room, so we want to get them to their session. We also have to log people in. And this year, we're going to be logging people in instead of just doing it on a piece of paper like we have done in the past. Volunteer Local gives us the opportunity to actually log people in online and track the hours, which I really want to do. So that means logging in and coming back and logging out, and logging people out of their shifts so we know that they worked their shifts and we're done with their shift. Anybody that is in as a daily coordinator for those 6 hours, you're going to be helping moving these volunteers in, getting them out to where they need to go, and maybe a quick explanation as to what they're doing. We will be in there helping. We will be in there letting you know and answering questions, and if you listen, then you'll fall right into place with what needs to happen. Certain attire for the volunteers, it is business casual, and is at least business casual. Obviously, if you want to do more, that's perfectly fine. You also need to make sure that you have your volunteer, it's a scarf again, so you need to make sure you're wearing your scarf. That is how everybody knows that you're a volunteer, and they know that they'll be able to ask you questions. So it's very recognizable. We've been doing it for years and years, and other people know when somebody's wearing a scarf. If you are wearing it and you're not volunteering, you will get questions, so I just warn you. You may not want to wear it again after you wear it, because when you wear it, you will get questions, because people know that you were a volunteer, so they will come up and ask questions to you. And the next question, how to do the... Go ahead.
Sorry, Brandy, someone had a question. Where do they get the volunteer scarves?
In the volunteer room, when they sign in, they get a scarf and they sign in.
Okay, thank you.
The other thing we'll be doing, the daily coordinator does is get the scarves ready and hand them out while people get logged in and all that. Everything you get, our whole hub and everything is all the volunteer in the volunteer room.
Okay, and then someone else had a question about the scarf. What color is the scarf this year?
Evelina, do you want to tell them?
Yes, so the core volunteer gets a And Brandy, correct me if I'm correct on, or correct me if I'm wrong on the color, but a teal tie-dye scarf.
It's
Is that correct, or is it?
It's just a teal. They didn't get to do tie-dye. It's just a regular teal color.
Oh, okay.
But all the regular volunteers are the tie-dye mixture of all tie-dye.
It'll be multicolored tie-dye scarves.
Yes. Yes.
And the core volunteers then get the teal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Is there any other questions we could answer at this time?
Someone had a question. Can you repeat the room number where the volunteer co-chair should arrive?
Yes. It is, the volunteer room is on level 3, and it's room 10C. And we'll be sending, okay. I'll be sending confirmations out to everybody so that you have that information. And that's going to be all over the convention center. And you can ask, when you walk in, there's going to be people at info desk, and they're going to have all that information also to let you know where you need to go up to. So when you walk in, you're going to be on the first floor. You'll need to grab an escalator or stairs or something and go up to the 3rd level. It is a huge convention center, so I will say, you know, don't be afraid. We have a lot of info desks and a lot of people running them because we know that we want people to try to help to make sure that we can tell people where to go and how to get places and all that. So if you are an info desk, it may even, I know Wednesday you can't really, but Wednesday should be a calm day. Wednesday should be a learning, a calm day. Thursday will be crazy. Thursday is our craziest day. But if I was an info desk, I'd have that information, but maybe even take a look. You can even go on the Austin Convention Center, and they actually have, you can click on, and it'll take you through the convention center where you can look at hallways and lobbies, and you can kind of get a feel for what it looks like and how to get around in it. And that's kind of neat. And it was very good for us too, because I don't live in Austin, so I've only been to the convention center once. So you know, I'm just like you, trying to make sure that we can figure out where we're going. And it's a big place, so that's why we have this.
Okay. If everyone can see the screen, I'm just on the at austinconventioncenter.com, and I scrolled to the bottom, and you can click on floor plans here, which is what I think you're talking about, Brandy.
Floor plans, and do you see something you can click in that it takes you? It's like a virtual. It's a virtual where you can actually click on it and go in, and it'll take you, and like you're right there, and you can turn and see and walk down hallways and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty neat. You know what? I know I have a link for that. So what I'm going to do when I send your confirmations is I'm going to send you guys, I'll send it all in a confirmation. I'll send the link to that also, so you guys, so everybody can at least have a chance. If you want to take a look, you can.
Great, thank you.
It helped us. I think it'll help anybody who hasn't been there before. Those of you that have, you're good. Individuals with working in your shift, and this was for, I think it might have been for an info desk. The info desk, yes, you will have people, you will be responsible for people with you. There will be people working with the desk with you, depending on which info desk. You will have regular volunteers that will be coming in to help. One of the info desks is down by the ribbon desk and by the tote bags. So that info desk is going to need to be responsible for making sure that those volunteers at the ribbon desk and making sure that the ribbons get taken care of, get replaced and put up, and keep up with that, along with making sure that we're keeping up with tote bags. You're kind of a manager of that area and anything that's going on in your area as an info, and then you're also giving info, but you have 4 to 5 people that are going to be with you that are helping to give that info also. So you won't be the main person. You'll have info and sheets and all that, and then other people will be there with you that will be helping you do this, and then you'll be responsible for other volunteers in your area. Where should volunteers park? This is a good one. I had to look this up. Evelina, actually, I'm going to give this to her because she's from Austin.
So if you all are local, you all know we have some downtown parking. However, it has some limitations. There's, I think, a 3-hour max, I believe, and it can get quite costly. So there are some parking garages that are near the convention center that I would recommend as the location to park for the day. And if you want to, you could potentially try a hotel nearby, but their prices might be a little bit more expensive and might be more crowded for those that might be driving in from Houston and Dallas and you know, all around Texas. So I would recommend the parking garages.
Yeah. All right, and somebody had mentioned about the Lightning Talk moderator, what you need to do. Cameron, who is doing an awesome job, and thank you, Cameron, for everything that you've done, and that it's great because I am not a tech person like this, and so everything is so much more organized than it has been in the past when it's been up to me. But Cameron just sent out, if you're a Lightning Talk moderator, I believe you just sent something out today because I was copied on it, right, Cameron?
Yeah, so Lightning Talk moderators and general volunteers should have gotten their orientation materials today. So that's a video, kind of like the one that was distributed before this town hall, and it goes over all the procedures for Lightning Talk moderators and everything that you need to know. So if you haven't gotten that, you can email learning@sweoffice.org, and I'll send that to you. But yeah, you should have gotten the materials this afternoon.
Yeah, and it's awesome. I mean, I clicked on Lightning Talk volunteers and how she presented everything and what you need, and it's way more information that I think any of the volunteers have gotten in the past. So once you see this and you get it, you'll feel good. I actually looked it up. It was a really good job, Cameron.
All right, thank you.
And so real quick, I'd like to interject. There was a comment that was made on the questions that was just related to where to park downtown. There is a comment about possibly taking the train downtown and leaving your car at the Howard Station. That is also a great idea. If you are comfortable leaving your car at the Howard Station and you know your schedule will work with the train station schedules, then that's also an option you can do for those that are local and that live, I guess, you know, north of town where the train would have its stop. Sorry. Just wanted to bring that up real quick. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry. And everyone who's typed a question in that we haven't gotten to, we'll be able to address those after we get through the submitted questions, just so that you know you haven't been left hanging.
Okay. All right, we're almost done, I think, with most of these. Written sources will be available. We talked about that. Yes, there's going to be written sources. You're going to have books with information, all kinds of stuff, exhibitor lists, you know, all kinds of things regarding the exhibitors, the expo, regarding the hall, regarding, I think I even have a list of restaurants in the area. We've got a list of all of our hospitality suites. We've got times and who's going to be at Tech Talks at what time. All that stuff's on sheets of paper that will all be in that folder that we will have. We're making like 100 of them, so they are kind of like gold. Not everybody gets one, but if you do have one, hold on to it tight. They disappear. My shift starts at 7. Do I check in as attendee and proceed to the volunteer table? Yes, you need to check in. Go get your badge. Depending on what time you need to check in at 7. I know the registration on Thursday opens, I think, at 6:30 a.m. So you can get there early and do that, and then just come right up to the volunteer room. And that's, again, the volunteer room at 10C. which is where we would need you to be. If you do not get your attendee badge, you're not going to be stopped, so you can come to the volunteer room and check in if you're running late, and then grab your attendee badge, you know, later. It's not a big deal. The biggest thing is you have to have that badge to get into the expo for stuff like that, and you're going to want to try to get that badge at an off time, because Thursday and Friday we're probably going to have huge lines at certain times. We're trying to make sure that we've got self-serve and we've got lots of volunteers to help with registration to make sure we can get people through fast. But as a volunteer, I would try to get mine as early as possible so that I wouldn't get stuck in trying to pick that up. All right.
Brandy, I have a question.
Yes.
This is Evelina, just asking on the fly. Has this ever been done before, where maybe we pick up the Corps volunteers registration bags and take them up to the volunteer room so that it's a one-stop shop, where they could potentially just pick up their badges and sign in at the same time? Is that possibly an option, or is that too much coordinating with everything else that's going on?
Well, we could, especially with the Corps people, we could. I can talk to Trell at registration, and we can see maybe if I can't get those printed out and hold on to them up in the volunteer room, so we can get them out. I think we just need to make sure that if anything's wrong, or if they didn't get all the passes that they get, because I'm not, they still.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the one thing, like, they really need to make sure that everything's correct with what they ordered, and making sure they have tickets for what they needed to have tickets for, and all the other good stuff registration does. So,
yeah, we can let it stay.
Yeah, it's not just a badge, it's a little more than that.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And then a special events lead for Thursday morning. Will I know if extra tickets are available prior? Prior to the doors opening, if you're a special event lead, you will be working specifically with SWE headquarters. You'll be side by side. They'll be letting you know what they need help with. You will be running volunteers. If there's any extra tickets, which I highly doubt, I think most of the special events are sold out, but don't quote me on that. I guess I shouldn't say that. If there's any extra tickets, they would know if there's openings. Usually all of our events and the special events are completely sold out, and people are begging for tickets. So in the past, that's how it's always been. Now, as somebody who is volunteering and working it, if at the end, once you have put everybody and everybody has sat down and everything's there, if there is a seat that someone did not show up for, they do say that you can go ahead and take a seat if there's an extra seat after it started and everything's done, only for our volunteers. Sometimes there are extra seats in the back that people, didn't show up for, and sometimes they're not. I think that's really what you were asking is to see if there's a spot, even though they're sold out, if you could maybe get in. And that's what we do allow. They have done that. And SWE, the headquarters, whoever you're working with during that event, will also let you know where they're at. Okay, I think we'd already done the daily operations lead, which was the next question. We missed on all of our other questions that came in.
Okay. All right. So I can read through the questions that were typed in while we were going over these other answers. So someone had asked, will info desk leads get maps ahead of time so that we can review?
No, we have not done that in the past. This is only our second year of doing that, though. But like I said, your biggest map that you're going to need is for the actual whole Austin Convention Center. So what I'm going to do is forward you that link. We'll forward the link to make sure that you get that, so that you will have. So you just have to go on to that link at the Austin Convention Center that will take you through the map so that you can see it. And I think that will help out a lot.
Yeah, I think so too. And looking at the Austin Convention Center page again, they do have, simpler floor plans if you needed to print that out for yourself, just to have like a paper copy. I think that would work too.
Okay.
Someone asked, what is the rendezvous point for coordinators on Wednesday morning?
Always volunteer room. We always meet in the volunteer. We'll always go because that's where people are signing up. So anytime you want to go, I will be there from 6:30 in the morning and open up the room right away. And I will. We say that the room closes at 7, but we always have other events going on. So I'm around. We're around. It doesn't always close at 7. Usually we still have people in and out. So somebody from my office or I will be there along with either Evelina or Raj or one of the other volunteer co-chairs that might be there between all of us. There's always somebody between 6:30 in the morning and into the evening, way past 7 when they say that we close.
All right, thanks.
Don't close.
Kim Ecker, in response to the question about phone numbers, what she did in the past was had the lead phone numbers laminated so that they could be attached to lanyards, and then had the lead's name, function, and phone number so that other lead volunteers would have them, I believe. So I don't know if that's an option for volunteers to do or for you guys to do, but that was a suggestion from someone. And Kim, you can type in and correct me if I'm wrong. All right.
No, I think that's a good idea. Maybe within just the leads, though.
Yeah. There's a ton of volunteers, general volunteers. So
we have a lot more leads because of how many info desk people we have, though. We do have like 70 leads. I don't know if you guys all want your numbers going out. That is 70 people. So maybe if we just even broke it down into your role, like you shared your phone number, the daily operations for each day shared their numbers, or the special event leads shared their numbers, or you know what I mean, within their group.
Mm-hmm. Could that be done on that Wednesday, like when everyone's at the conference?
Yeah, Wednesday would be a slower day. We could do that, or I would love to do it ahead of time, to be honest with you, if we want to. But it is something we can do on site also, that we can just have on site, that we can, we can put numbers in our phones, and that's what I usually did, was keep numbers in my phone.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see, there were a lot of questions about scarves. Someone, a follow-up question to the when the volunteer co-chair should arrive. And you said you'll send out that information for everyone, correct?
Yes, the volunteer co-chair, though, that's between, I think, Evelina and Raj. They're going to figure out between all of them what their schedules are. They're kind of the leads ahead, so I don't have schedules for them. They're working out between the 6 of them how they can manage and maneuver the conference without having this take over their life for 4 days.
Yes, so this year in the past, there has been only 2 volunteer co-chairs, and we did request to have additional ones to try to allow greater flexibility and to ensure 100% manning of the volunteer room. So we'll be working out our schedules, and we'll have coverage. But for Wednesday morning, we'll be discussing arriving there first thing that morning to begin the shifts.
Yep, and then everybody else should already have shifts. All the other leads, so the daily operations, the special leads, the plenary and mega leads, and then mega session leads, and then the info desk leads I will resend that out probably next week, just because it should be right before everybody's going to leave. So I'm thinking like Wednesday, Thursday-ish, I'm going to plan on doing a push of sending final confirmations so that everybody remembers what their shifts are.
All right, thanks. We did have another scarf question. Someone asked, can they pick up the scarves early or should they wait until their scheduled shift?
You can pick up your scarf early. Just make sure you bring it, because we don't have enough to, we can only do one per person. So, and I know right now we have about 600 volunteers and that's between both. So we're gonna use every bit of the scarves I think that we have right now.
Okay.
So probably recommendation, best practices, if at all possible, pick it up when you go to sign in for your shift, just to avoid losing it, misplacing it, forgetting it.
Yeah. Because we don't really have enough to replace at this point in time. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Someone asked, can we help other days that we're not assigned if we have additional time? Maybe a few hours, not in the 4, especially early in the morning.
Yes. If you ever have time, you just stop by the volunteer room and come see us. And believe me, I'll find something for somebody to do, because, well, sometimes we just hang out and it's like everything's fine and calm. And then we get a wave of something and it's like, can you do this? Can you do this? I need you to do that. Can you run here? So I never, ever turn anybody down. We usually have food in the volunteer room. We have a breakfast that's always there. We've got coffee and waters and juices. And then we usually have lunches that are served. So that helps people to come visit us also, so that it's a very nice experience. So we do feed, but absolutely, we've got a lot of people that just come out and hang out and chat with us also, which we love when we're not busy running crazy. But yeah, I will never ever say no to somebody who has some extra time and wants to help us, because there's always something to do. And this right now, I will say, we are probably scheduled to have, I think I went to a meeting at SWE, and we're like 2,000. You would know this, Karen. 2,600 above what we were last year for attendees.
Yeah,
Hi, this is
I actually
Jean.
don't know the exact number.
Yeah.
Jean, go ahead.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're actually 2,400 as of yesterday's count. We're pacing 2,400, and I think that number has just increased, too. So we're pacing about 2,500 from last year.
So we're expecting to beat everything from last year. So when anybody wants to volunteer with that much more people, with being such a full conference, then we would definitely need help. So we will never say no. It's going to be great and awesome, and the numbers are going to be awesome. We're looking forward to it. Hi, Jean. You're here?
Oh, I've been here. I've been quiet. Hello.
All right. Okay, there was some people, in response to the question about phone numbers, had suggested setting up a message service, like a Slack channel or a group chat. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but that's another possibility.
Yeah, they do have like group me's and things like that you can use with groups. There's really not a lot that between you two that you need. It's mainly just what I need. Evelina, Raj, and Divya, Kim, and Nadia, and Rhonda. We just need to be able to, if we need to get a hold of somebody, we do need cell numbers. So that is one thing I'll need to check, but I think I'll probably keep them between us, meaning between the SWE 17, us, the local co-chairs, and the local host, and me.
All right.
How do you feel about that, everybody else?
That makes sense.
All right. Someone, Monica Detling, pointed out that the SWE app contains a map of the Austin Convention Center. So for info desk leads, if you needed a map quickly and on hand, that's a good suggestion too. So thank you.
Yes, everybody should download the app before you go and start looking at it and looking through it, because that actually, and it will have the most current information. It's being updated all the time. So that is another great piece of information that you're going to need that you can use right there too. Yes, thank you, whoever said that.
Monica, thank you.
Monica, thank you.
There was a question from someone asking about this presentation, if it was going to be recorded, and it's being recorded and will be distributed to people who were here and people who registered but couldn't attend. So I think that was most of the questions that came in. If there was something that wasn't answered, we can give you a couple minutes to type that in. Someone had a question. There's registration on Tuesday afternoon. Can we pick up our badges? If our shift starts at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, can we pick up our badges on Tuesday afternoon?
There is registration open. Oh, go ahead, Brandy, please.
No, it's 16. I know it said just for exhibitors, but they should be able to grab something, shouldn't they?
Yes, I believe we have registration open on Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. So, yeah, people should be able to grab their registration and badge if they, in fact, have something going on early Wednesday morning.
Yep.
Okay, thanks, Jean. There was a question about plenary and mega session leads. Are they assigned to one room throughout, or will they be moving around to different rooms?
The plenaries and the mega sessions are actually all in the ballroom on the fourth floor, on the fourth level this year. So I would say they wouldn't be moving around. They would pretty much report to the same room for every mega session or plenary.
Yep, that's exactly right. They were all in the same room, so I kind of tried to book their shifts around, running one or two of them. So, yep, they're all in those rooms. So you'll just be running the plenaries and mega sessions out of that room.
All right. Okay,
there was one more question I had seen. I can't seem to find it, but I know it was on the list. And I don't know that we've answered it. And that was, oh, there it is. Will there be shuttles from the various hotels to the convention center?
Okay. This is Jean. I'll actually take on that one. Yes, there will be 3 shuttle routes, and any hotel that it's pretty much more than 4 or 5 blocks walking distance will have a hotel route. For example, Route 1 will be the Holiday Inn, the Hotel Indigo, the Hyatt House, the Sheraton, and any hotel around that, you can certainly get on that shuttle bus. There'll be a Route 2 to the Aloft, the Embassy, the Element, the Omni, and then Route 3 will be the Embassy, Holiday Inn, and in a different area of Austin. Additionally, there'll be a pickup for the Crown Plaza because I think that's the only hotel that we have off the expressway. And we'll be posting this shuttle very soon on the web. We were trying to finalize it, but it will be posted before conference.
All right.
Awesome. All right. That's good.
Okay. So, and this is Cameron again. I don't see any more questions. If anyone sees one that hasn't been answered, feel free to jump in. But I do want to point out, if you're looking at your screen on the SWE 17 page, if you have not viewed the orientation material, so that means the video presentation and the volunteer resource guide that we created for all the volunteers, you can find that. If you can't find your email from Brandy, if you go to SWE 17 website, and then attendees and volunteer. And click on this. The resources will be on that page. So if you needed to print out the volunteer resource guide, that link is here, and you can get all that before you go to conference, and it's good to look over. Oh, there's another question. Someone asked, what's our total registration? Assume there will be online registration for last minute people.
Hi, this is, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jean. I was going to verify the question, actually.
Oh, okay. You know what? I probably need to get an exact number. I think we were pacing at about 11,700 as of yesterday. That's probably close to the total. And there will be on-site registration available. The pricing will be different, but I just caution everybody, it is so much better to pre-register because the lines will be long. And you know, this is our largest conference ever, so there will be more congestion than other years. I would caution you to register early to avoid the lines.
All right, thanks, Jean. Okay, so yeah, so the volunteer resource, those are on the SWE17 website. If you have questions or you think of something that wasn't brought up in this town hall, you can email learning@SWE office. There's another question coming in. Zerla Renan asked, do we have all of our volunteers or do we still need more? I think that's a question for Brandy.
I have filled all of our spots as of today, so we're good. We're good. I did a lot of emailing and sending things out, and did the final 8 or 9 that we needed. We actually added last minute. Our staff decided to add another info desk just to make sure we had enough people out there. So I had to worry about staffing another one. So I did reach out to some regular volunteers and push it out there. And we had a good amount, but we have everybody, so our leads are full.
That's awesome. Zarella says yay, and I say yay too. That's exciting. All right, before we wrap up, Evelina, Brandy, or Jean, do you have anything that you want to add or close with?
I would just like to welcome everybody and say thank you.
Oh.
Okay. So we talked over each other. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
No problem. Jean, you and I had the exact same thought. I just wanted to thank all of the ladies that have stepped forward and jumped in as a core volunteer. We are depending on your leadership for helping us make sure this is a smooth conference. So thank you all very much. And I look forward to meeting many of y'all face-to-face that I haven't had a chance to meet yet.
Yep.
Yeah. And coming from
second, yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Coming from everyone at headquarters, thanks to all of our volunteers.
That's all I was going to say is thank you much. We couldn't do it without you. We need all of you, and in order to make this smooth and another extremely successful conference. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I look forward to meeting all of you soon, less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, exciting. All right, thanks everyone. Have a nice rest of your evening, and we will see everyone in Austin. Have a good night.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.